how you doing? Here I am again on a Tuesday evening talking to you guys. So today's topic is about stress. And this is because earlier on today I was so stressed. Now I know lots of people say to you, I'm always really happy and bubbly, and I have to admit that I am of a personality that the cup is always half full for me. But that doesn't mean to say that over the years I haven't worked on myself. So I started probably about 10 years ago now, doing personal development on myself, reading books, just anything that would work on my mindset, help change me. So the little things in life that happened, I could deal with, or I could get over, or I didn't hold on to the negative thing that maybe happened to me for too long. But that's not to say that I'm immune to stress. That it's not to say that things don't happen that really piss me off. There's no other word for it other than a swear word. And today was one of those days. I'd been let down by a tradesman with some rubbish excuse. Tradesmen out there, how they get away with running their businesses the way they do, I do not know. I run my business where I answer all emails, phone calls. I'm there for people. I never let people down, and yet tradesmen seems to get away with it. It drives me insane. But anyway, so that had happened, and then I had somebody else that I get lots of people that want my services, but they don't want to pay for it. I mean, I love what I do. And if I had no bills whatsoever, if life was free, then my services would be free. And that gets to me as well. It's like I bend over backwards to help people, and people just want to take advantage. I do get a lot of people that want to take from me quite a lot. And normally I take these things in my stride. I'm like, whatever, it's their issue, not mine, that kind of a thing. But today it got to me, and I was like, oh my God, I love boxing. I do boxing classes. I go to other trainers, and I tell you what, yeah, I could have been in a class this morning because I really wanted to hit something, and which made me think of how do people normally deal with it. Now, for me, the biggest and best way to deal with stress is exercise. You people out there that don't do exercise, I don't know how you cope without the release of just pounding it out. And then my newly found way of dealing with any kind of stress is getting in the sea, getting out in nature and getting in the sea. Oh my God, it is the best thing ever. So I wanted to ask you all tonight. So please do some comments, please do some emojis, and let me know, are you a stress head? Do you stress about everything? Do you worry about everything? And oh my God, if you do, your poor mind, it must be so like in turmoil. Are you somebody that's kind of 50-50? They do stress, but they don't, but they also don't? Or are you somebody like me that really, I very rarely stress about things? I have the attitude that what will be will be. And again, this is working on myself for a long time. And I just wanted to know, how do you cope with it? What are your coping mechanisms? So I wanted to give you some kind of tips really of what I would do. So like I say, my first go-to is always exercise. If I'm really wound up, then I get my trainers on, I get out in nature and I run. So for me, that's a double whammy. It's the exercise and it's the getting outside in nature. So you can't be stressed and be out with beauty surrounding you. I know I'm really lucky. I live in a place where beauty is literally on my doorstep. But even if you live in cities and stuff, I know cities have parks. There are places to go to get out in nature. So, exercise, definitely one. Even if you just jump up and down on your spot. If you follow Tony Robbins, he always advocates to change your states. And changing your state is you put on louder music, you jump up and down. It's anything that will switch you out of what you're currently in. That massively changes. Getting out in nature is another one that massively, massively helps you. If you haven't got the time to do these things, I mean, you could jump up and down on the spot and put your music on loud. If you're in work and you can't jump on the spot and thingy, can you plug in some earphones and listen to some positive speaker. There's loads of positive speakers out there. Les Brown is another one of my favorites. He is phenomenal. So I find that if I distract my mind, so this is by listening to other things, that also helps. I'm currently audiobooks are amazing. Those of you that don't read out there, get an audiobook. I'm currently listening to the Hoffman, the Ice King, the guy that swims in the icy water and he does all this breathing and all that kind of stuff. I'm currently listening to him, and oh my God, so inspiring. Do you know what I mean? That's another one. That's another stress buster, because you think, wow, look at what this person can do with their body. Oh my gosh, if I could do a fraction of what he's doing, that would be amazing. So there's another one. Get yourself listening to a really good audiobook, a good author that can inspire you. Obviously, my newest found one which has been the last sort of 12 months now, close to 12 months, is Going in the Sea. Oh my good God. If there was ever a stress buster out there, this has got to be at the top, because your brain switches off. You walk into this freezing cold water. Now, I'm not saying if you've never done it before, you suddenly go and jump in it. You have to gradually build up, because there is an element of, there's a massive element of the shock to you. And if you're not used to it, this can cause problems. So don't just suddenly go and jump in freezing cold water, but build up to it. But when you go into this cold water, the shock of the water is so much, the cold is so much. Whatever is racing around in your brain, or has been racing around, if you're worrying about paying your bills, if you're worrying about getting your kids here, if you're whatever you're worrying about, it switches off. And I mean, it switches off. It's so cold that all your brain and your body are going into fight or flight mode. The brain is actually releasing loads and loads of the happy hormones, the serotonin, all of that's getting released in the brain by the shock. Your body's gone into the fight or flight shock. But literally, I can tell you, your mind is so calm. And when we first started doing it, me and my friend Paula, that go in all the time, who is a phenomenal lady, I have to say, when we first went in, and before I'd done any research into it, it was just, I was challenged to go in. That's why I first ever did it. And when we first went in, I said to her one day, I said, I wonder why this is really good for your mental health. And what, and she turned around and said, because it's so goddamn cold, you can't worry about anything. And that actually is true. That is actually what the mind actually does. So, oh my God, if you're anywhere near some cold water that's outside, go and get yourself in it. And if you're not in any cold water, definitely finish your shower on that cold water on the shower, because that shock will make you go, ah! And again, your brain switches off. And then one of my other favorites for any kind of stress is the good friends that you can have a good old rant. You can get it all off your chest. They just sit there and listen and wait till you're finished. And for me, if it's something that I need to offload, once it's offloaded, I am fine again. And then back to happy again. And I realize that the things I just stressed about, they're not really that, being let down by a tradesman, being people trying to get stuff for free off me, people wanting from me. It's not life or death, is it, at the end of the day? It's just life. It's just one of those things. It happens to everybody. It's no major illness. It's no major disease. It's no, like I say, it's not life or death. It's just one of those things. So yes, so for me today, I did all of them. I did exercise, I went in the sea with a good friend, and I met another good friend for a coffee and had a good old rant at her. And then between all of them, by the time I was going for the swim in the sea, I was laughing and joking and perfectly happy again, and it all gone. It was done, dusted, over, put behind me, not worth my time at all anymore, even letting it into my brain. And this is the trick that you need to learn, however you learn it, whichever tool you use, whether it's a combination of lots of tools, or whether it's another really, really good one is yoga. and breath work. Breath work's my newest thing that I've added onto my daily routine. But breath work, and there's lots of different types of breath work. So again, you find the one that you like. I've basically started doing the Wim Hof one because why not? I'm reading his book. I'm going in the cold water, so let's do his one. And yoga, they're two big things that it's scientifically proven that breath work will de-stress you. If you're anxious, breath work will bring the anxiety down, it'll go, all those kind of things. So whichever one that you choose, or whether it's a combination of things to de-stress you, because you need to de-stress, because too much stress on you can actually manifest itself into actual illnesses within your body. Years ago, when I had my own premises, the final year when it was all going tits up, and there's no other word for it, the stress that I was under resulted in me having about 5 panic attacks, and it also resulted in tinnitus. I'm pleased to say I've never had a panic attack again since. Unfortunately, I still live with tinnitus, and I'm going to be working on trying to reduce that in my head. So stress on a daily basis and intense stress can really lead to actual manifesting in your body as actual illnesses, and we don't want that, do we? So whichever way that you find to de-stress, then what you've really got to remember as well is these things aren't life and death, and you need to get them out of your head. You know what I mean? And it's done, it's dusted, it's past, it's gone. So it does, you don't, what I'm saying is you want to kind of release it. You don't want to hold on to it any longer. And I know for any of you listening to this now, especially if you're under a lot of stress with whatever's going on, and I know some stress things that cause stress can be huge, you know what I mean? Whether it's financial, whether it's loved ones' illnesses, whether it's your own illnesses. I do understand. I'm not belittling anybody's causes for the stress. My ones were little ones today. I'm not belittling them in any way, but what I'm saying is that you need to deal with them. You need to find a way to deal with them and lower your own stress levels, because all that's going to happen somewhere down the line is you're going to make yourself ill. And also living with stress is really not fun, is it? So yeah, I'm not belittling in any way whatsoever, shape or form. So please don't be shouting, you don't understand. Maybe I don't understand what you're going through, but I do know of ways of helping and making it better. And all of these ways that I've just suggested are all free. They don't cost anything. You know, you can do all of these things by yourself out in nature. Or maybe you'd have to pay to buy a book, but other than that. So yes, so people, if you're listening to this, please give me some comments, give me some thumbs up, give me some emojis. If you don't want to publicly comment, please send me a private message. If you need any help with anything, please just reach out and I will do my best to help you. Because yes, a stress-free life is a happy life. And also, if you've got some ways of dealing with stress that I haven't mentioned on this, let me know. I'm always open to learning new ways. And obviously, the more I learn, the more I can help people. So yeah, do comments, give me some thumbs up, let me know, and I will reply to you straight away. And remember, everybody, as always, I love you lots and lots. I wish you a fabulous evening and a fabulous week and a fabulous life. All right, love you lots. Bye.